Hello and welcome back, everybody, to WD Black, the Esports Club League in association with ACD Fibernet, Zotac Gaming, and Games the Shop. I am your host once again, Blackjack, joining us here on this wonderful day at Villa at a game between Gazelles Esports and Raven Esports. Joining me once again is Foxy. Foxy, how do you feel today?
I feel amazing, Blackjack, and I'm very excited to cast this match with you. So let's not waste any more time and get right into this match.
Absolutely. And coming into the band phase over here, this is, of course, phase 3 of the qualifiers, as our lovely viewers will remember. And the first band we're going to be seeing is a Thatcher band, major utility operator, who sees his, what is this, like his 15th ban right now? On
I
stream, I
think,
think.
yeah.
I've just lost count at this point because the old man has hardly gotten a chance to play. And well, that's just what you get in this game for bringing so much utility. As the second ban is, curiously enough, a Montaigne ban, a slightly rare ban in this WD Black the Esports Club League, of course. But he's one of those bans that you see a lot outside of the pro scene. Because of course, no one really wants to deal with the shields in this game. They're quite annoying. And there goes the Valkyrie. That is, of course, the first defender ban from the side of Gazelle Esports. An Intel operator, a smart ban, and a very common ban once again. It's a trend, you know. The more utility or the more Intel gathering potential you have, the higher your chances of being banned. And the last one, maintaining his insanely high ban rate, of course, is Echo. Uh, very standard bans coming out, wouldn't you say, Foxy?
I have to agree. Look at that Antil being taken off the board from the side of defense. Obviously, you still have the Maestro on board, but let us see if that is still going to make a difference. As Maestro has been amazing on the side of Villa, and not only Villa, so many linear maps that you can use Maestro perfectly on. And Villa being that map that gives the roamers a little more place to play on with that extra basement that they have there. It's not really a challenge because we usually see all of these maps on Rainbow Six Siege that have a sight on basement as well. And Villa being the only map that does not have a sight on basement, it's going to be a very interesting pick. That Maestro is actually going to get 6 pick from 2 Legion rather, while Buck is going to be changed into the Ash by Mikasa. And looks like that is what they want to go for. We're proceeding into round 1 here as we see the side of Raven Esports start off on defense. Dank apparently. So before the stream started, Dank is asking me to not call him Dank One. I'm like, all right, Dank, I'll call you Dank and not Dank One. And Zujin as well. As I just didn't want to pronounce their names wrong, so I tried to get them just as the spellings were. But it looks like they just prefer me calling something else, and that is exactly what I'll be calling them. Jaeger doing a lot of work for his team. We saw Dank being amazing with his frags last night rather, and he's been good with the carbine utility as well. We're seeing some standard setups being brought in. The ADSs as well as the magnets from the Vamai are going to be a little bit of a changing factor. For a second, I thought Vamai is outside that study room balcony with the overlay just not being in my line of sight there. Anyways, we're seeing 90-year-old coming in from this defensive team as well. Quite interesting. You usually don't want to expel so much utility on the side of 90, as that is a choke point that is easily given on the side of attackers, while we'll be seeing Gazelles Esports making their way up on the trophy window, as, or I like to call it, the Fox window. It's like I said, Dank will be the man on the roam game here. He knows the drones are coming in. He's going to get one drone. Push is coming in from the other team as well. Look at that. They've already made their way inside statue. Ash is going to find one. It's all down to the Jaeger, but he's going to choose the safer route out. He's going to be falling back as no damage done to anybody, but his HP has been saved as well. Ace taking a few shots from that Mozzie, if I'm not wrong, before he got dispatched, and that was War Dog. War Dog's Mozzie plays have been amazing using that Ronnie, and look at that, Dank finally finding one kill of his own, as Zujin is going to find another. That's on Red Stairs, and a really good entry frag potential from Gazelle Esports is now shut down from the side of Raven.
Absolutely. Good roam plays coming out from Raven Esports on both the Jaeger, a little bit from the Mozzie, and of course Zujin with the Wamai. And shutting down this entry from Gazelle Esports is what was paramount to them, and they have managed to do that successfully. As now, we do have a push coming into 90 hallway, and lots of shots are being fired in that general vicinity, but nothing happening just yet. hear me. So, with all that being said, as we approach the 1 minute mark, we still only have a 4 versus 3 situation. Gazelles, not quite in a situation where they would be comfortable with the game, but of course, we have seen this situation not be a bother for a lot of teams, as Zofia is going to expel a little bit of her utility and get and stun herself. I believe that was in the meanwhile. She is, of course, accompanied by Hibana, as Thermite is going to be pushing 90, but there goes Kaio. In the meanwhile, Zujin gets another kill to himself. And with that beautiful headshot, there goes the Zofia. And the push from 90 happening from Psyche is so far not going to yield him anything, as I don't think anyone's there on 90. Some shots are being fired. He's making sure he's not going to get taken out. Takes out the ADS, and he has some control for now over 90. He's going to be looking to open the vault wall, a very important wall in the side of Aviators, as Zujin's actually going all the way around from the first floor. Side push is happening from Ace here. He's going to get a kill onto Dank, and he's going to go for the plant right by the vault door. This is, of course, a situation where they need to go for the plant because the countdown is happening. The timer's going to run out, but the plant has gone off successfully, and it doesn't look like Raven Esports are none the wiser. They're going to have to try and retake. In this sort of situation, Legion's going to be pushing the vault into the Thermite, but Thermite's not going to take any shots yet. He's going to take down Womai, pushing from the breach, as it's now a 1v2 all on reaction, as who's going to peek the Thermite, but will be taken out from inside of vault yet again. Well done to Psyche for pushing vault and taking that risk with the kills that he got. Plant going off just in the nick of time, winning the attackers round 1.
That was a well-executed clutch coming out from that hard breacher duo from the side of Gazelles there. I almost thought that they lost the round because of the man disadvantage that Raven put them in the first half of the round. But finally Gazelle stepping up to their game, making sure that it doesn't matter if 2 attackers on their side are left alive. They're going to make sure they get that clutch in. They got the plant done at the right moment. They made sure that they get those impactful frags before the plant went down. And it was just a 2 versus 2 into a 1 versus 1 fight that Thermite could execute perfectly onto the Legion and the Womai. We're seeing the Womai being employed once again from Zujin, as we see him 6-pick from the Warden.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
Interesting pick to go for the Womai along with the Jaeger. Of course, you don't really see Womai be taken all that often because Jaeger has just so much more on his counterpart operator, right? Womai, of course, is more versatile because he can put his gadget pretty much anywhere on the map. Whereas Jaeger is a little bit limited to floors and walls. But on the other hand, Jaeger just has the better gun. I'm sorry, Womai mains, but Jaeger just has the better gun, and you can't really deny it. Plus his speed. He has the speed advantage for now. Of course, we're going to be seeing the mid-season patch sometime soon, and unfortunately, Jaeger's going to see a somewhat significant change.
If you ask me, Blackjack, I just think that Womai's AUG has been amazing addition on the side of defense.
Yes.
That is an AR, apart from the only AR in the game, and that is, once again, like you said, the carbine. So I think putting that AR in the hands of Womai is not making him overpowered for sure, but that is surely giving a lot more room for a defensive team to pick more gunfights and be better at it. But then again, the ADS time off the AUG is something somebody has to always be scared of. And let us see if Zujin is making dropping some frags out of that Womai AUG that we're seeing him use. Wardog once again will be on this passive roam here on top of landing, as he's just going to fall back. He doesn't want to overextend his peaks. Dank is going to be on side this time around, as you're not seeing entire roam presence from the side of Raven Esports, as it's a free real estate for Gazelles for the moment. A barricade denying any lines of sight on towards the 90 hallway. Hibana making sure there's no sneaky plays coming out from the side of Raven, as that is what costed them in the last round there. The Jaeger being able to creep up after being rotated back from the Astro stairs. And look at that, just as I speak about it, they're making sure they're checking all these angles. Wait a minute, can Raven hear me? They're just so vigilant about making sure that they don't make the same mistakes that they did last round. Wardog won't be using the Ronnie this time around. We saw Wardog use the Ronnie yesterday on Coastline, and he was amazing with that. He's going to be using this barricade to his advantage, but he gets popped off, and that's the LMG on the IQ doing its work, and Saitama is going to get Wardog. It's a lovely headshot coming out from the side of IQ there. This LMG has been amazing since that angle grips addition on its attachments here. Meanwhile, we're seeing not Ace, that will be Mikasa picking out a fight of his own and going to win that also against the Womai. And that is Zujin dispatched from the side of Raven Esports. A lot of utility being expelled from the side of Ash, making sure that her entryway into the main stairs is guaranteed. The Jaeger is here, make sure nothing of that sort happens. Only time will tell what maneuver the Ash or the attacking team are going to bring in to put the defensive team on a very quick decline here in terms of man count. But will that matter? We're seeing Psych go for this breach here, and very interesting pick of names as Dankwon is going to get one. I cannot stop myself from calling him Dankwon for some reason. As the moment I read the name tag, that is what it reads, and that is what I'm gonna have to pronounce sometimes, you know. I just get a little confused, guys. Excuse me. We'll be seeing a little different breach from the side of Thermite, but Ash is just going to walk in. She knows where the Legion is. That's a double kill for her this round. She just has sight, and she's going to get a triple for herself. It's all down to Dank to clutch this one out for his team. Tries to get one, but does Ash know? Yes, she does, and that's a 4K from Mikasa. And Gazelle Esports guarantee the second round victory on Villa against Raven Esports. A nice pre-fire on that R4C here.
Absolutely, and a very well executed push from Gazelles Esports. It was, of course, as you mentioned, free real estate on the northern side, the bedroom area of the map. And after gaining control, they just never really let Raven Esports come around and take them out from a well executed flank as they had last time. And once the push into side happened, Ash just went in Mikasa right there and just straight up clean. And just completely cleaned up, right? So, like, there was no need for a plan. It's just go in, get the kills. That's it. Game, set, match. Let's move on. And we are, of course, going to be going back to Aviator. Seems that Raven Esports seem to be quite persistent with that site. It's going to be interesting to see whether or not it works out in their favor, of course. Because the last two rounds, if they're anything to go by, then Raven Esports has a lot of different areas to hold than they have been holding. You know, they've tried holding 90 twice. Unfortunately, it hasn't worked out in their favor. And the Rome game, the second round, didn't really go out in their favor either. They were taken out a little too early for their liking. Didn't waste enough time. And Gazelle's just very efficient with the Rome clear, very efficient with their utility. Once the hard breach was done, it was just over. Like, they just said, yep, that's it. We're inside. It's over.
That is true. Raven are surely gonna have to change some things up, at least on the side of the. All right, let's look at the cardio that Legion is doing here.
Oh no!
Look at that. A lot of calories being burned.
He's doing the moonwalk.
All right, bye bye.
Oh, and there he goes.
That'll be it from Dadgum for this round, at least, as he's disconnected for the while. It's just some network issues that we players face, and I'm pretty sure everybody who's watching us right now must have faced something like this at some point in the play of this game here. Meanwhile, we'll be seeing Dank once again. He's going to be on this roam, but he got shut down very early in the last round. Let us see if that is going to be the case this time around. We're seeing somebody stationed outside the trophy window. He does spot the drone. Gets almost 3 drones, and that's a lot of intel being denied for the attackers if it comes to... Oh, look at that, the 4th drone. If it comes to the end push, 5th drone.
A 5th drone.
That's a drone ace from the Jaeger. We'll be seeing him fall back as he doesn't want to pick any more fights. Rather, as he's done enough intel denial for the attackers already. That's a lot many drones. Half of the drones that the attackers have on their side have already been dispatched. So now it comes to more of a phase check that the attackers are going to have to do when it comes to a side push. And Hibana missing her shots there. Not fast enough to react. Trying to pop that head off the Mozzie there. We're seeing Dank still holding this 90 angle here. He's got to make sure. Table? Yes, he is on the table, and that's a very nice play from him. As you know, usually the attackers try and peek on a crouch level or maybe even the head level with that elevated surface that he's got, but he gets spotted out. He's going to fall back. He doesn't want to overextend his play here. He doesn't want to lose a man count early, as that is what has been biting Raven Esports in the back for almost 2 rounds now. Seeing this push once again, a very standard push of Gazelle Esports from the side of the bedroom area. No breach being done so far, as IQ is getting prepped to make this push happen, and she will do so. She's going to get inside the map, and she's going to drop 2 kills of her own before she gets shut down by the Vault player, and that is Dank once again standing up for his team. But look at that, the scoreboard comes alive in the favor of the opponents, and that'll be it as Gazelle Esports win yet another round, all by frags. As it's just been a fury of kills that we are seeing Gazelles bring to the table, and we'll be going for a rehost here as we'll resume the match in just a bit. Be right back, guys. We'll be back with more siege action. Just a quick rehost on a 3-0 scoreline.
The moment of creation is a form of magic, where an off becomes an on, a 0 becomes a 1, then another, and another, until, deep in the complexity, you discover order, speed, reliability, power. Experience the WD Black NVMe SSD. Fueled by darkness. Level up to NVMe SSD performance.
Alrighty, everyone, welcome back to this game here in the WD Black, the Esports Club League. As we are back from fresh from a rehost, I'm your host Blackjack. Once again, we are joining back in this game on Villa between Gazelle Esports and Raven Esports. As Gazelle, with a 3-0 lead on the attack, have been just absolutely dominating. Foxy, what do you think is going to happen in these last couple rounds before the?
Oh, looks like I had a little.
Oh dear.
I forgot to add the operator bans in the rehost here. Let's just hope that the opponents do not pick those operators. They won't. So, should we go for a rehost or should we just?
I mean,
yeah. Thatcher, Montaigne, Valk, and Echo were the
yeah,
bands.
those are the band up. Yes.
Right. As we will be proceeding into the round here. Looks like that is what teams are choosing to do. Rehost. Should we go for a rehost? It's up to the teams. I'll be very honest.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go for the rehost then.
A little bit of a hiccup, but
Yeah.
unfortunate. But we'll be right back, guys. Don't worry about it. Alrighty then. So, of course, in the meanwhile, as this rehost is going down, something I would like to say about this match that has happened so far is the fact that Gazelle, in the first round, they had they had a situation where they almost didn't come out of. They were down to like a 4 versus 3, I believe. And they managed to come back from that very well with a clutch in a 2v2 situation, plant going down right at the last minute. But after that, in the next 2 rounds, that Raven have picked Aviator over and over again, and they have just been completely shut down on both rounds. After that first round, of course, Gazelle just absolutely dominating, and we saw in that last round, the Jaeger being spotted by roughly 6 drones, I believe it was, as he went from bedroom to astronomy back to game room and then 90 hallway. He was having a drone fiesta over there.
I think that is
And
what is making the attacking team be more inclined towards taking frags. We saw how the Ash walked in onto site and then the IQ. They had no drones to get intel on site, so they are not wasting any more time into trying to even face check. They're making sure that all right, guys, no drones. That means we are walking in face first into the fight, and rather the way the IQ and the Ash have been playing, it's not face first. I would say it's guns first, as they've been dropping those kills on side, and that's just been impactful for the side of the attacking team rather.
oh, absolutely, guns ablaze with those two ops in particular. Of course, Ash. No one can understate exactly how much fragging potential she has. It's almost as if she has limitless power in certain situations. You know, you can't really. There's no way to understate how good of an operator she is. And IQ, that LMG of hers, ever since Amaru was added a couple seasons ago, coming with, of course, the angled grip on that the G8A1 LMG, it has just made that gun so much more viable and so much better just in general, with a lot more people playing it. Yes, those are the bands. With a lot more people playing it and a lot more people opting to actively go for it. Before that, it was just like a meme, but now it is an absolute powerhouse of a weapon with its increased ADS time. Actually, reduced ADS time, excuse me.
We was just like you said, we've been seeing the IQ employ the LMG and get that kill onto the red stairs, if I'm not wrong. And that was just a perfectly placed crosshair placement from the side of Gazelles Esports. And despite the last match that we saw coming out from GZ, this match has been a little more dominating as 3-0 on the same site that we saw Raven employ. And that was a very interesting pick coming out from the side of Raven. They've got to make sure that they at least try and change some stuff here and there. At least maybe, throw your attackers off a little bit. What do you think about what sites Raven should be defending based off how Gazelles have been playing? They make sure they get that roam clear done from the side of, I would say it's a more horizontal push from the side of Gazelles. They don't want to employ the Ash or the Buck and put a little pressure from down below. Even if they bring the Ash to the table, she's mostly determining her entryway from the trophy window.
Well, for the most part, I would like to see them go for maybe a trophy hold or maybe even a kitchen like first floor hold. They could, I mean, they could go for it. You never know. Maybe that's what they need. That's what they probably need to do is just change up sites, which changes up a little bit of how they play, and a little bit more in their own favor. Taking that sort of a risk is what they need to do instead of going for the same site, because as we've seen 3 runs in a row, it really hasn't gone in their favor like at all, which is a bit of a shame, really.
That is true. We'll be getting back into this match here as our lobby's been hosted. We're just making sure all the players are back here.
We have all the things this time, right? The round history and the bands and stuff.
Yes, we have done that.
Right.
There we go.
Yeah, 3 rounds in favor of Gazelle. It's just been absolute dominance from them, fragging all the way into sight, and whew.
All right, we'll be getting in this match. Without any further ado, as there you go, the 4th round coming in from the side of Gazelle Esports versus Raven Esports in our match 1 of the qualifiers for Division 3. As we've already got the teams and the draw list for our Division 1 and Division 2 tiers, you can head on to the Esports Club social media pages. That'll be on Instagram and Facebook to check out which of your favorite teams have made it to the top 2 tiers of this league. Meanwhile, we'll be busy hosting and streaming and casting. There's some amazing qualifiers going on for determining what teams make it from the group stages and out of phase 3, towards phase 3 rather, and into the Division 3 tier system.
Absolutely. Very excited for that upcoming tier system, as we are going to be seeing a trophy statutory hold being employed from the side of Raven Esports, they are looking to change up sights and maybe change up the pace of how this game has gone so far, bringing in the Maestro with them for that extra bit of intel and a little bit of denial as well. The Legion for late game pushes, Legion being very, very strong for those late game punishes. The Ella actually being employed, which is going to be interesting to see how Zuzhan plays the Ella.
Right.
Her gadget, of course, being one of the more annoying and slightly more powerful gadgets when it comes to the defender lineups, of course. And finally, the Jaeger, and of course the Mozzie as well. You can't understate how much Mozzie can do if he has like all 3 drones with pests. That is a lot of intel being denied as well as being used by the defenders. So overall, it's a little bit more intel heavy, especially with the sound cues being employed by the defenders. Of course, Legion, after his recent gadgets nerf, I guess you could say. He's, of course, if you want to use him for intel, he's more of a sound cue type operator than a visual operator, losing the sight of his gadget on his HUD. As we're going to be seeing the attack move onto the balcony already. I think that is IQ and Nomad, maybe, on the balcony just outside of bedroom. And they are, of course, already droning it. Mozzie has the War Dog, of course, has the Roni once again. Very good gun, but just not enough damage to ammo count, I would say, to really justify having the Roni over the Commando. The Commando is just such a great gun. As, oh, okay. Saitama over here is actually on the first floor doing a little bit of run play with that trusty LMG of his, as a bedroom and closet push is coming out from the rest of them. Ace from the bedroom window is going to be holding down the bathroom door as Thermite goes in for that opening already inside the bathroom, as Zuzhan is going to get taken down. Saitama, the IQ is gone. Unfortunately, a breach is going to happen in the main wall of Statutory. And with that, Mikasa is going to take down Zuzhan as well. The Ella is gone. Warnock has taken quite a bit of damage as well, so he is in a precarious situation. As Kaya will take down Dadgum, that is yet another kill. The Jaeger's gone, and Warnock goes down as well. Ace taking the headshot, and Gazelles just maintaining this absolute show of dominance so far in this round. Maestro inside of Astronomy is going to get pushed from below and from bathroom as he goes down, and he will be taken out as Gazelles will win this round. Round 4. The last kill coming out from Ace onto the defender inside of sight. And
Fragfest.
Absolutely.
Fragfest Esports versus Raven Esports. It's really a frag festival at this moment for Gazelles, as they are getting their primary breaches done, and everything after that is on how Raven has been playing. They are peaking angles that usually they should not. Especially, they've got to anticipate the fact that Gazelle must be watching that site, or must be making sure that you don't get over aggressive. And that is exactly where they're shutting down. And looks like we've seen Raven Esports play on Villa before. Am I right or am I wrong? I'm not really sure. With so many streams happening on Villa here, I'm a little confused maybe. But then again, Raven has been amazing with their gunplay that we saw last night as well. Looks like they're just not being able to pick those opportunities here that they can use to perform well, because alright, Dadgum there.
Oh dear.
That's a little I would say ill-aimed impact nade from him. It's going to cost him half of his health there. Meanwhile, coming back to the fact that all these matches that we're seeing now, this stream and the next stream as well, that is going to be for the Phase 3 Division 3 qualifiers. That means if you win this one match, you make your way into Division 3 already. And if you lose this one match, and by the looks of it, Raven Esports looks like they might be on the receiving end here. If they do that, they're going to have to go on to the second mini league that will be done, that mini tournament rather, for them. That will be in a qualifier stage as well, as they've got to make sure they come out on top, be the top team in that loser bracket league, to make sure that they make their way up in the Division 3, as Division 1 and 2 are going to have only 8 teams, while Division 3 are going to have 9 teams. So fighting for that 9th spot is going to be the losers of the Phase 3 qualifiers that we are seeing happen now. Legion Mark.
Well, quite interesting, as Ash is already here at that Fox window, as we love to call it, and already the bathroom push going off from the attackers. This is they are moving quite fast this time around. Gazelles Esports, they want to make sure that they win this clean, as clean as possible. Dadgum, of course, unfortunately, he's the only one on a little low SP. As Mikasa's going to go down, unfortunately. As I speak of Dadgum, he gets a kill. There goes the Ash, and a massive, massive operator for Gazelles Esports has been taken off the board a little too early for their liking, who, after all, we just got past the 2-minute mark, but drones are coming out from bedroom and shots are being fired. Wardog makes a little risky peek. He's not going to get anybody but going to get traded out himself. That is the Mozzie taken out by Psych. In the meanwhile, Kaio went down as well. So Gazelles are in a 3v4 situation. Not a very particularly favorable situation, as the Sledge is going to push up the red stairs towards the south side of the building, taking a Guma into the shin. He's going to have to take that out before he takes too much damage. And he will, securing himself a little bit of safety as he pushes up on the side door. He's going to manually breach that, as Zuzin's going to take down Psych. In the meanwhile, Raven might just be making a little bit of a comeback this round. He's going to get another kill. Ace goes down in the meanwhile, and it's all up to the Sledge. Saitam over here, right outside in classical hallway, outside that deer window little buffer room.
Why is it? Yeah, you see, I was
there.
Oh, he's gonna lose that anyway. He could see the barrel of the gun. You know, I don't know why he was not shooting through the Fox statue. Sledge, you can shoot that. You can shoot through that, my man. Why would you not shoot through it? Anyways,
unfortunately,
yeah.
I don't think he didn't realize it was a soft surface, and with that, Raven is going to take their first round on this defense, and finally, the trophy hold working out for them, and they are going to be going back to Aviator, of course.
Oh, this is you know, all the 4 rounds of nightmares that we saw Gazelles wreak havoc onto the side of Raven Esports, as they'll be attempting once again Aviator room. I'm not really sure why Raven Esports are not choosing to go to a little more dependable side, as that has become now onto kitchen and dining. For some reason, they just want to commit to being in this little tough spot that they've been in so far, and that is the Aviator and Games Room. But maybe this time around they'll bring something else to the board, and that'll be the dock. We haven't seen the dock being employed here, haven't we?
No, I don't think we have.
So that is a good addition from Dadgum, I'd say. As Dadgum getting that early frag onto the side of Gazelles in the last round was very impactful for them. They made sure that the Ash is shut down from the Fox window. As I think at this point, everybody in the community is going to start calling that Fox window now. Nobody's going to call that trophy window. But anyways,
I mean, that would be actually pretty beneficial for me, because I had no idea what to call that window. I struggled giving a call up to my team in rank whenever we play Villa. It's like, what is that window? Where's it pushing from? I don't know what it's called.
So,
but now
a very interesting note. You look at this little balcony on top of this.
Yep.
So what is the shed here? You get on top of that when you spawn main road, and you can just look all the way from this balcony towards. All right, Saitama meanwhile is going to pick up one frag while I explain one of these angles through the Fox window. Right, so this balcony, you stand on it through the Fox window, it goes all the way to landing, and it's just an amazing angle that you can use for catching off the defenders while the Jaeger does something like that.
Well, if anybody had been standing up there, that would have been the death of him. Now, speaking of death, Mikasa's going to bring death upon reactionists. In the meanwhile, Gazelles once again stating how dominant they are. Mikasa's going to go down, unfortunately. A little mishap with the Claymore on those red stairs, but that is just one. As the second one goes down, Kyo goes down as well, as a Psych will refrag onto Wardog, but Psych will also go down to Dadgum the Doc. Well, okay.
All right.
That was fast.
Raven Esports finally taking those fights that they had to. A little earlier maybe, but we know how defender favored. That was a nice shot. We know how defender favored side Villa happens to be. How good this map is just in general, and getting 4 rounds on board on the side of defense is really advantageous for Gazelles, as now they move to defense, and it's going to be a little. I would say it's still an easy victory for Gazelles if they play this right, but Raven Esports finally realizing where to challenge Gazelles. They're not letting them any entryway onto the map here. They made sure that they spot that Zofia right out of that entry into the study room while she was placing the Claymore. Well timed by that bandit over there. Or I'm not sure if that was a Jaeger. No, that was Ace on the bandit. And Yeah, that was still a good round from Raven Esports. We saw them lose 4 rounds on the Aviator and Games Room, but they finally realized that, all right, guys, if we are not able to play on site, let's just play frags, and that is exactly what we saw them do. We'll be seeing Gazelle still favoring the top side, though, as Raven did as well. We'll be seeing them go on to the top floor. Mikasa will be running the also trusty Vigil, as he's been amazing with his roam plays, even in the matches that we got to witness Gazelle Esports yesterday. He's been good on the Vigil so far, and Kaio will be on the Jaeger. Ace will be running the Bandit, Psych will be on the Kaid, and Saitama will be on the Legion. A very interesting note, the Psych. Psych is a really funny name, man, for some reason. You know, it's that meme that... Alright, Psych! No, it's not working. My dad jokes are back. Blackjack, stop me.
Oh,
Oh, we'll be
I
seeing...
mean, I would if I didn't enjoy them myself. I'm gonna be real with you.
We'll be seeing Warlock making his way onto study balcony, as the site swap has happened now, and just like I said, things are gonna change for the better or for the worse for which of these teams. We'll find out in just a while, as we're seeing a little bit distributed push from the side of the attack, but then again, essentially it's still more of a stack onto the study balcony, as that is a push they want to make. Raven Esports doesn't want to invest any hard work, and look at that, the Wardog is already making his way inside the side here, and he's going to get the Vigil, the Legion rather, and Saitama gets dispatched on no one of those goo mines, and intel coming out from the side of the defense here. It's a really early entry frag that they needed for the attacking team, and they got that main stairs control. And it was what we didn't get to see on the camera is we saw Dadgum push out from the bottom stairs, as well as there you go, the Vigil does get spotted out. I'm not entirely sure if they know that, but they do know. Dadgum is going to make sure that he's not want to overextend to speak here, and Psych will be watching this hallway. He's got the TCSG in hand. My man, Psych. He's going to be staying here. Vigil, he's just lurking in the shadows here. He notices that drone. I'm not sure if he does. And that is what is going to punish him. As he hears those footsteps coming into him, creeping up to him, is going to take him out. Now that does mark the end of Gazelle Esports trying to go for that roam game. And we saw Gazelles trying to roam in their previous matches as well, but that was just not turning out well for them. A drone does get spotted out and taken out by the TCSG on the Kaid here. He's going to have to fall back as well.
It is still, of course, a 3-stack push on that balcony there, which may or may not spell the end for Raven Esports attack here. But given the fact that they already have a breach into sight right by that bar. Oh, speaking of Psych, with a beautiful tap. Oh, that's a 2-tap again onto Reactionist. A double kill coming out from Psych with that TCSG of his. He's going to be sitting inside a vault as Zujin goes down. Psych, unfortunately, missing his shots on the Ash, who's going to try and peek him all over again. And this TCSG has just become a formidable weapon to go up against. The attackers don't seem to want to really take that fight, except for the Ash, of course. Dank is going to try to quick peek it. They seem to be a little skeptical about pushing through this breach right now. As peek, maybe? It's just a game of hide and seek at this point. The C4 does go out, but I think it was shot out.
Yeah.
That was a nice shot from the Ash, and the game of hide and seek happens. The push happens. Oh, the C4 wasn't shot, in fact. But he's going to be taken out as well. The Kaid from inside the vault is gone as the plant is happening behind the bar. It is all up to Ace on the Bandit, who's going to be opening up into office, going for the flank, but he's going to be taken out, dropped, in fact.
What?
But, unfortunately,
what?
It's a 1v1, and he's going to get a kill, Ace! Despite the Nomad charge dropping him on the floor, it didn't seem like Nomad had any idea where that was from. And with that, Gazelles, with a beautiful, beautiful clutch from their Bandit, is going to take this a defensive round here.
That was well played by the Bandit here. He knew exactly where to be at the right time. Didn't even try and punch that barricade a little early into the round. Obviously, that Nomad charge was there to ensure stuff like that doesn't happen, but it looks like the attacking team was so invested into making sure that the Jaeger doesn't get the best of them that the Bandit did the same. We're seeing Saitama go on to Caveira. This is the second Caveira play that we're going to see today in this whole series so far that we've witnessed in this run here. Good possible 6-peak. No 6-peak coming out from the side of the Gazelles at the moment, as Zujin will be switching from the IQ to the Jackal, as they do know, there's a heavy roam coming out from the side of Gazelles. Despite the roam clear that we are seeing, I was about to say reaction is Raven are making, they are still going to be a little more inclined towards using that Jackal this time around, though. Let us see if that is what is going to help them, as we'll be seeing a little more of emphasis on the bottom floor, as well as this side being also penetrable from the bottom floor, as making sure those C4 plays come into work and cohesion as well. We'll be seeing Sight running the Mozzie, while Ace is going to be on the Bandit. That's 2 C4s on the board for the side of Gazelle Esports, as they stand 1 round away, a 1 potential win away for taking it to match point. A little barricade coming in from the side of the Mozzie here to make sure his friend the Bandit can Bandit trick that wall to his liking and more of his comfortability. Seeing a possible barbed wire demand coming out from the side of Mozzie here. We're seeing Saitama go for this peek. He does get spotted out. He still wants to peek that, alright. He's just making sure he enters the attackers rather enough to throw them off their guard for a moment. Hiding spot from the Kavera. You love to see plays like this, you know. Everybody watches Godly Noob now. I mean, I'm sure everybody's just a fan now at this moment. Seeing a little emphasis on the side of Jackal being put to use here, but obviously the silent steps of the Kavera is what is going to help await those footsteps from being tracked. And look at that, the Jackal right outside this door here. He's just going to fall back. He doesn't want to overextend his peak. Doesn't want to lose his life. And more than that, we know the special ability that Kavera brings to the table for the defenders, and that is wall hacks, or as the game calls it, interrogation. Alright, Saitama is going to get dispatched just as I speak about it. Zujin is going to get the Kavera, and a very wise decision making coming out from the Jackal there. I bet there was a drone that was spotting them out. I'm not really entirely sure what happened there. As the moment we switched from the Kavera, we saw that kill coming out from the Jackal there. Because is going to be holding the roam game alone now, as we saw Gazelles, you know, losing that roam play that they're exhibiting a little too early into the round, and 1.5 minutes left, and that's not enough time wasted off the site. That is going to make sure that the attackers put more pressure on it, rather. Seeing Dank making sure that he puts that pressure, while Dadgum is going to get unfortunate kill onto their heart breacher, and that was the only heart breacher on board from the side of the attackers, and that is going to take the thermite out. I'm not sure where that. Oh, look at that. Look at the sad kill coming out from.
We can just we can
just
see the.
That's sad. That is so sad. That looks so bad. And that is going to make these attackers go for frags, and Warlock is going to get one onto Mikasa. That's a hill advice peak coming out from the side of the Vigil here. That is going to buy some time for the defenders on site, and 40 seconds are left on the clock now. The push is coming in, but what a ugly pre-fire is going to connect, and the refrag comes in from the Jackal as well, while Jurgen is going to be on a triple kill, and the quad kill from Jurgen is going to win things, and Raven Esports are going to win round 8, making sure that Gazelles don't proceed to match point. Look at that cleanup from the Jackal, a one-man army. Zojin is going to be manning that gun, and just an amazing frags coming out from the side of this team here, and it's just good. You love to see plays like that happen.
Absolutely, and it is quite nice to see the fact that despite having an unfortunate accident with their only heart breacher in the team, Raven Esports didn't let that get to them. They cleaned up nice and easy. Zujin with that brilliant push onto Astronomy, cleaning up on all the defenders in and around site, and keeping Raven Esports alive in this situation, still at a 2-round deficit. Of course, they are down 3-5, but their main priority is now going to be getting to that match point before Gazelles Esports is able to take it away from them. And that is, of course, what they have managed to do quite well in this last round, and they are going to be looking to do that in this round as well.
Saitama is going to fall back to the Jaeger, but I still think that it was a good pick. That bringing out the Kavera onto the side of Gazelles was still a good pick. We just didn't see a lot of emphasis coming out from the side of Raven to try and dispatch that room clear, obviously because they dropped the Kavera a little too early. Is that your PC? Alright, it must be. All right, looks like we are just having a little bit of a technical
Oh, dear.
issue there.
Do excuse me, I forgot that my speakers were still connected. I'm having a little bit of sound issue
Right.
in my headphones, so I tried unplugging them and the sound just automatically went there. I do apologize to everyone on the stream if that caught anyone by surprise. It would be a little uncomfortable because I tend to have my speaker a little loud, and
Yeah. Yeah,
it can be-
I can imagine you totally, blasting music at the night. And since we're all in a lockdown, we're just blasting some pop rock on it. Just
gotta
some
keep the neighborhood entertained somehow.
some heavy metal, and you just banging your head to it in the balcony. I just imagine Blackjack doing that, and now I cannot take that picture out of my brain for some reason. Chat, please help me. We will be seeing a possible comeback, maybe, is what the Raven Esports fans must be demanding, as we see Saitama taunting the Gazelles, rather the Raven Esports at this point. He's just making sure he's just chilling out at this point now. We're seeing Wardog make his way down below along with Zujin, and that is going to be the IQ. They're making sure that Mikasa doesn't, just peep out of anywhere, but he's going to be stationed all the way onto the main stairs and near the study door. He doesn't want anybody entering into from that study balcony. A little bit of aggression from Saitama. This could just be the play that he needs for his team. He knows the PK is coming in from the Nomad over there. The closet fire shots. Trying to get those wall bangs in, but he's going to land his shots. Jaeger with a perfect kill onto that Zofia there. Does pop the head off of her, and that is Wardog. Wardog's just not been able to find his sweet spot here for today. He's just getting dispatched a little too early for his team, and maybe that is exactly what is costing them.
Well, for that matter, Wardog going down early once again as we're going to be approaching the 1 minute mark in this situation. Gazelles, of course, with that Zofia out of the way, they can play a little bit safer with the utility in and around, as Kaid unfortunately will not be able to trick the main wall inside of statutory. The breach will happen from the thermite, and with that, a massive line of sight into sight is opened as Ace here, very precariously on the statutory door. He's in the corner, of course. He can't really be seen unless droned out, as Thermite is going to be clamoring that he knows that someone might just do a risky run from there, and just going to make sure no one does that, as Dank is going to take down Saitama. In the meanwhile, of course, that is the Jaeger taken out of the equation, as we have an enemy outside coming out. We don't really know where that was from. A run out maybe from one of the defenders. Lots of shots are being traded. We are, of course, approaching the 20-second mark in the round, as Psych will go down to Zujin. That was a nice shot from the IQ. That was, of course, the Kaid being taken off the board, and Bandit goes down as well. In the meanwhile, Zujin is cleaning up. He's going to be peeking the Astro Stairs, taking yet another one on the triple kill. Is he going to get the quad? Yes, he is. Kaio goes down to Zujin once again. And, well, Raven Esports with a consecutive quad kills from Zujin are going to take another round in their favor. That was round 9, of course, as they keep their hopes and dreams alive, reducing that deficit and making sure that they go far that much closer to winning this game.
It's just amazing plays from Zujin there. 2 rounds in consecution and quad kills twice, and that was just so much work being put from the side of Zujin. It's just amazing gunfights that we're seeing the man take, and let's take a quick look at the scoreboard. With that being said, 13 frags on his account, and that is after the Rios, of course, and that was 3 rounds. But then again, those 3 rounds was not the performance heavy rounds for the side of Raven Esports, and still you managed to get so many frags on board. It's just good. Oh, look at that.
Oh, dear.
Saik and Saitama are going to lose a little bit of HP there, as we see Saitama going for that impact raid onto making that rotation, but just did not land his intended mark. We'll be seeing him do a little damage to his teammates. We see this happen more than often nowadays, actually. Even saw that happen when Raven was, alright, look at that. With the Doc in play, he's going to use 2 of the stem pistols to juice them back up, but that is also going to expel utility from those stem pistols, as now Doc only has 1 left and possibly could only use that one for his self-revive.
Well, that is going to be a little bit of an unfortunate situation for the Doc to be in, but of course that is what he is there for, to help his teammates out in any HP crisis that they might have. But you know, those impact accidents, as you said, have been happening a bit too much lately. So teams are gonna have to watch out for that. You don't want to throw an impact at your friend inside a site.
Yeah.
That's kind of a bit of a. Can I use those words?
No.
I mean, it's not a nice thing to do. It's not a nice thing.
I didn't even know what word you were going to use, and I'm straight up like, no.
I mean, of course, there are alternatives. The English vocabulary is massive, but let's not talk about that just yet. Oh, I think the doors. Yep, the door is bugged for War Dog over here. This is, of course, a bit of an issue that we've had with this season of Void Edge. Ubisoft, hopefully, they can fix this sooner than later. As Zujin once again gets a kill on those red stairs as Saitama goes down. That is a very impactful frag on the Legion, and he knows that the C4 went out from below, so he knows that there's another operator down there as the office push is happening.
I assume that was a pre-play C4 because I see the hatch down below as well. Look at that. Dank is going to be below, but there's just no frag coming out from him. So I assume that was a pre-play
Probably
C4.
just a pre-play C4, yes. As the RED scanner, of course, coming into play. I think that's maybe an operator on their phone. I don't really know what that was, but I think that was Kaid that he was trying to shoot at.
Yes, that was the kite charge indeed. We're seeing the bandit getting prepped for. No.
Oh,
That we hate to see that. Ace just missing his mark. He's going to burn out his own C4. Meanwhile, Zofia is going to get down by the Kaid here. As Sight goes for that long peek onto this hallway, he's going to go for this revive. You obviously want your teammate to get you back up on your feet, as 20 HP is what you want and not 5 HP. Dank, on the other hand, is going to get Mikasa. This is a full attempt of a comeback from the side of Raven Esports, as they've already managed to get the man advantage. 5 versus 3 is a man count that we're looking at, staring into 40 seconds before this round goes into full-fledged bloodbath, rather. For some reason, I was about to say birth bath.
What?
Yeah, I don't know what's happened to my brain or my tongue today. But it's just the dehydration getting to me, man, Blackjack. We're seeing Psych holding this really tight angle once again. Look at that, he just spot one out, but he's not quick to the trigger. Does see somebody walk in, and the calls have been made as well, and that is a diffuser going down. He's got to go for this peak, but that is being anticipated from the attack this time around. It's all down to Ace, the star player for his team, who made some some plays happen, as I was about to say. But Zujin again standing up for his team. Look at that. Again, a 4 frag round for Zujin. Quadjin is what I'm going to be calling him from today. I don't care what his name is anymore. Quadjin. What's up, Quadjin? Quadjin.
I mean,
oh my god.
It was more of 3.5 kills. The Kite was already down from the Nomad. But still, the scoreboard's not going to reflect down because the kill goes to the man who does the final blow.
Yep.
So Quadjin out here, consecutive quad kills in his name, 17 frags post rehost. Oh, the man is just popping off today.
That's 3 rounds and 4. It's just amazing. In 3 rounds, he's got, let me count, I'm weak at maths here. 4, and 4. That's 12 kills.
yes, that is 12 kills.
In just 3 rounds, and that's just amazing. I mean, you love to see plays like that, but then again, Raven Esports are going to have to consider on what they're lacking, that they're depending totally on one player. Imagine if Gazelle manages to take out Zurjin in the beginning of the round. What is going to happen?
That's going to be a bit of a bad situation to be in.
You would want to make sure that your team is equally contributing to getting you those round victories, but looks like Quadjet is going to be doing a lot of heavy lifting for his team so far into this match here.
Well, this time we do see Kyle bring out the smoke for a little bit more area denial and potentially plant denial. He might just be playing. He has this shield here that he's going to be taking off. So he might be playing around this vault door inside a vault area, which is quite safe for any defender sitting there, Any game that Echo is not banned, we normally see Echo sit inside a vault on top
is that
of one
even
of
a
like, the
shield?
stands.
Like, is that even a play? I don't know. I'm just asking. Like,
this shield in particular is a bit precarious to have in the way he's put it. Maybe you want to Mikasa's gonna take down Zujin. We were just talking about this.
The caster's curse. Oh no!
Caster's curse. We are so sorry, Quadjin, for that. But Mikasa's gonna get a very, very, very impactful frag right here, and a very bad loss for Raven Esports in this situation. The Ash is, of course, still there, peeking that window on the first floor. But Mikasa, with that kill, is going to get a boost in confidence, and he's going to try and make sure this first floor roam clear doesn't go the way of Raven Esports at all. Of course, the scoreline has been equalized, so it is, again, anybody's game. A little bit of shots fired. Dank takes 1 bullet's worth of damage from the alibi inside of the library room there. So the spots are coming out, of course, the red marks, intel from the attacking team's droners, as they know that the alibi is in here. The Ash is going to peek, but again takes more damage than she would want to. Mikasa, of course, is very lit up. In the meanwhile, as actually that's going to go down to the Nomad. Okay. Dadgum out of nowhere comes in, gets the kill. He's also on a little bit of low HP, so well then, the roam clear has somewhat happened. Ace is still here on the first floor. He's still in library, and he's, of course, making sure to walk rather than jog to conceal his footsteps to the best of his ability. Obviously, he's a Jaeger. Jaeger's not a Caveira, but walking is going to help him quite a bit. As he knows that there's someone on the stairs, he's going to go for some shots, but not going to connect anything just yet. Instead, he's only managed to give away his position. The Ash now by library sees the rotate coming out from the Jaeger. Ace goes down as well. Raven Esports once again securing a bit of a lead for themselves as a canister goes out from smoke, but the plant is going off in the vault door, and the smoke goes down. Kaya once again going down as Raven shutting down Gazelle one by one. The Legion got a kill right there, slightly trying to bring his team back, and we have Saitama. He knows where the diffuser is, but he also knows that there's people by red stairs and 90 hallway. And this is going to be a very interesting situation. He's going to peek office and take down the Zofia in the meanwhile, equalizing the body count. But now they have to really go for it as the timer is ticking. The diffuser is going off, and the counter diffuser is going to come out from Saitama as well. Ash knows that there's somebody there, but the Legion is watching. He's going to take down the Ash, and is the counter diffuser going to go off? Yes, it will. Gazelle Esports with a risky counter defuse. Brilliant cover from the Legion to take down the Ash, as they will finally make it to match point right here on Villa.
What did I tell you, Blackjack? You want to win against Raven Esports, you kill Quadgen. You get Quadgen, you have won the round. We saw the Thermite attempt that in the end there, he went for a really long rotate while the diffuser was planted right on the door of the aviator room. I'm not really sure what was going there in the comms of the players there, as Ash and Thermite were the only ones left alive. Ash did go for the more intended peak, as you'd want to take those gunfights and win them. It's a 2 versus 2. Why would the Thermite go for such a long rotate? And just like I said, that loss of Quadgen in the beginning is what costed Raven Esports, Raven Esports, yeah, that round there. It's just well executed, making sure that the Gazelle Esports made sure that even after getting that advantage, they did not give it away, and it is very important, as important it is to gain that advantage and maintain it as well. Made sure that they maintain it, and that is what got them that victory and secured the match point for themselves, because Raven was one potential win away from match point as well. So this time around, things are getting a little too exciting, as we saw that comeback being attempted from Raven, but finally Gazelle are going to step up and proceed to match point, as this is going to be the one round that they need to finish this match here on a 7-5 scoreline. Or will we see another comeback and proceed this and shoot this match up in overtime?
Well, that will most certainly be very exciting, as this might just be one of the first overtimes that we've seen in stream matches so far.
Right. Yeah, that'll actually
I think this.
Yeah.
If this goes to OT, this will be the first overtime that we're seeing in stream matches, and of course we are only in the qualifiers, so that's going to be very, very exciting. It's going to set a high precedent for the upcoming tiers and division matches, as Bennett and Pulse having a little bit of a moment there, sitting right by the breach wall. Filming a little bit of a vlog there. Of course, Pulse using his cardiac sensor to make sure that the bedroom push or the first floor push happen. Well, never mind, as Mikasa is going to go down to Wardog. Wardog making sure this time Quadgen is protected from that dangerous operator. His Vigil is out of the board. Vision over here. He's going to spot the operator, intel devices, and everything, like all utility on that very, very faithful RD scanner. He knows where the Pulse is actually seeing that ping rotate around. He's going to go for maybe a little bit of a downward shot. Is he going to get some?
No damage done either. I think he's just landing on those railings, his shots.
Maybe.
Oh, he notices the IQ here. Does he know it's the IQ? Yes,
It's-
he finally finds out.
It's a trade of who's who between IQ and Pulse, but unfortunately, Pulse I think has put back his cardiac sensor. No, he brings it back out, and he's gonna be scanning the first one now that he knows that there's a lot of players there. Of course, he's gonna see the bedroom push happening from the attackers as well. That's one person out in balcony and a two stack inside the bedroom. The breach is happening, but he's gonna be tricked out by the bandit. But will he get the second one? Maybe. There's a little waltz happening over there, aided by, of course, Pulse, and he's gonna give the intel on the bandit, who's gonna put down the bandit battery, and there goes the brimstone charge. Unfortunate for Thermite, but looks like Raven Esports won't be getting a breach into bedroom this time around. Bathroom push is gonna be their way to answer this situation as a little bit of. Oh, okay. That barbed wire doesn't seem to be breaking. Ah, there we go. It's finally broken. But he's going to take a Kumite to the chin. In the meanwhile, Wardog going to caught in a series of unfortunate events right in the bathroom here, as Legion in Astronomy knows that there's a flashbangs coming out from the attacking team. And lots of flashbang. Is actually does going to flash Keo, but he's rotated successfully back into side. Psych in the meanwhile is going to take down Wardog. Keo is going to take down Zuzhan. Psych gets another kill on the Reactionist. And the Ash goes down on Astronomy stairs, and now it's a 1v4. Kaya on a double kill, and it's all up to Dadgum, who's going to see the Pulse, going to take him down, make it a 1v3 for his favor. And it is a precarious situation. 50 seconds left in the round as he's going to be peeking into game. Quick peeks coming out. Pre-fires Astro, not going to find anybody in there, but he is just in a terrible, terrible situation to be in, and will be taken up from behind the bomb. Gazelle Esports, after taking match point, winning round 12, they are going to be winning the match, halting Ravens' comeback in its tracks. And unfortunately, it looks like the caster's curse came back for the overtime predictions.
Yeah.
As we're going to see a 7-5 victory for Gazelle Esports.
That was quite the match there. I still feel sad for Quadgen, man. That guy did so much work for his team and they still lost the round there. Anyways, things happen and it's only a game. Why you have to be mad? We will be seeing another match come up in just a while. Hang in there, guys. This is me, Foxtrot, and joining me is Blackjack. We'll be back with more Siege action as we proceed to the second match of today, and that is going to be an exciting one. Mercenaries versus Shining Heroes. Just hang in there, guys, as we'll be resuming the Siege action in just a moment.
The moment of creation is a form of magic, where an off becomes an on, a 0 becomes a 1, then another, and another, until, deep in the complexity, you discover order, speed, reliability, power. Experience the WD Black NVMe SSD. Fueled by darkness. Level up to NVMe SSD performance. The moment of creation is a form of magic, where an off becomes an on, a 0 becomes a 1, then another, and another, until, deep in the complexity, you discover order, speed, reliability, power. Experience the WD Black NVMe SSD. Fueled by darkness. Level up to NVMe SSD performance.
And hello and welcome back, everybody, to WD Black, the Esports Club League in association with Zotac Gaming, ACD Fibernet, and Games the Shop. I am your host, Blackjack, and joining me once again is my co-host Foxy, as we are going to be moving over to Coastline for the second match of today. This is, of course, Shining Heroes versus MRCZ, a very, very exciting game coming up. Foxy, quick predictions. What do you think is going to be the bans?
I think they're going to take out Nomad. Maybe they want to play aggressive like we saw those teams play yesterday. But then again, you could always ban Blackbeard. You can ban Thatcher. There's so many meta bans that come up as well. Look at that.
Oh,
Blackbeard
well then.
coming out from the side of MRCZ. They want to pick those gunfights against Shining Heroes. Looks like it. They'll be challenging people. Because Blackbeard can be very dominant when he rappels that penthouse window as well as the hookah window. It's just he just gets unchallenged at that point. And Capita is going to be the ban from Shining Heroes, and a very standard, not so surprising, but interesting bans coming out from both these teams here. Shining Heroes on the defensive bans. What are the defensive bans going to be, Blackjack?
Well, I for one, I'm gonna just say it right now. We're gonna see an Echo probably as a last ban, but this one right here.
Oh,
Never
right.
mind. We're gonna see Echo right now. So with Echo taken off the board, we might see a Valkyrie ban, or who knows, maybe a Caveira ban. I'm not entirely certain, to be perfectly honest with you. But you know, it's gonna be interesting to see how they go about this as the timer is gonna take down, and Mercenariez are gonna be banning Valkyrie. Alrighty then. Yes, I was correct. And with that, the ban phase is, of course, concluded. And with that, we are, of course, going to be underway with the game in proper. Looks like our predictions are going to be, nice and correct this time around, Foxy. So and of course, that being said, we are going to be seeing a gridlock employed by Dr. Stoneheart right off the gate. We also have the Buck and the Zofia for tons of soft breach utility. The IQ and the Hibana being the last picks from AK Maharaj, I think, or that's what I'm going to call him. You know what? I'm not going to try and pronounce it the other way. And of course, Captain Kush with the Hibana. The Goyo being brought up by MII7. That those trusty Vulcan shields, of course, always it's become such a great meta that I don't think a lot of people saw coming with Goyo. But MIA7, my man, you can't really be running the vector as well when I'm talking
Again.
good about you, man. Why you gotta do this to me?
Oh, we're seeing the Vector being brought out from MI7, but maybe he's just making sure that he preps for his for the TCSG nerf that we'll soon be seeing
Oh, yeah.
coming out on next patch of this game here.
by attackers.
Well, that will most certainly be a very interesting patch, to say the very least. But
Right.
of course, that is for whenever
See,
again.
like, yeah. Yeah.
We understand the deployable shield is usually on your secondary button, but you're playing Goyo MI7. A little shake of the head there from him confirms that he's also thinking the same. That the nitro cell is a bit of a dangerous thing to whip out all of a sudden. But it's gonna be a 5-man push from the poolside spawn, and 4 bodies.
Looks like
are
they're
stacked
getting ready
outside
for
of-
a rush here.
It might be a rush plan, yeah. I was just about to say, as a runout, I believe that was,
Yeah.
he's gonna give IQ a little damage to run out from the hookah door, and the Buck has already opened the door, and the first kill, MI7 goes down, and it is in fact a rush coming out. Lex is gonna take a kill, but gonna get traded out as Noctis is gonna take down Dr. Stoneheart as well. The gridlock is gone, but the plant is going off inside of sight as AK Maharaj is gonna take one, but Doctor's gonna go down as the plant has happened. Shining Heroes have activated the diffuser, and the Buck has a pretty good angle. Not Buck, excuse me. The Hibana on Captain Crush has a pretty good angle right behind the shield. He's gonna use that to take down Noctis, and now it's all up to Fatar on the Jaeger to take this post-plant situation. He's gonna be sneaking his way into Sunrise side, but he's gonna see. Does he see the feet of Hibana? The legs?
Oh,
yes, he
yes.
does. He's gonna take her out from the shield. A good kill from Fatar coming out as he has, I think, has plenty of cover to maybe go for a counter if he's bait. IQ, of course, being outside of Sunrise. He's gonna have to push in, and he will. He's gonna rush right by the door
Oh.
to deny the counter defuse, and a nice shot, a nice gunplay coming out from AK Maharaj with the IQ securing the round, of course, for the attacking team. After that, very, very messy rush plant right there from Shining Heroes.
That was quite the rush that I did not expect Shining Heroes to do that, but they managed to walk away with it. Nevertheless, it was still a little messy in the beginning there. I almost thought the mute or the Wamai rather, excuse me, it's the gun that gets me confused. You don't run the AUG on Wamai. I automatically I'm gonna assume you're not a man of culture, Lexus. Come on, man, you gotta run the AUG. It's been such a destructive gun, especially on the side of defense, and that's the only second AR that we have. Anyways, we'll be seeing them go onto kitchen and service entrance now, as the blue bar defense did not work for MRCZ. We'll be seeing them go on top, and that Wizards runner in the beginning, I thought he could really catch somebody off guard there, but just could not convert enough, but did a lot of damage, and enough for the attackers to, you know, just scatter out a little bit and make sure that now the only place that they have to go is inside the map. Fadar is going to be using his deployable shield here, as I like to call it, the beer spot, as there's just so many beer bottles lying around in that area.
Well, given the kind of map Coastline is, you would expect a lot of beer bottles.
I mean, it's a
we have
holiday
certain
map, right?
Suspicious, yeah. We have certain suspicious white lines in theater that no one really likes to talk about because it's a spot bandit frequents quite a bit, you know.
Just on a rather casual note, Coastline is based in Ibiza, right? It's this,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
So yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And nobody's going to be taking any pills in Ibiza, but they are surely going to be drinking a few of those liquor bottles apparently, as there's just so many places. Like we see the pink bar coming into play here, as well as some teams rather like to call that vodka. So I think it's just it's just a place where you can just, you know, bring out those calls onto the table as well. Lothar will be playing on site along with his friend Noctis. That is going to be the maestro, while MI7 is going to be a little aggressive onto the side of the main lobby here. He's got to make sure he anchors down this choke point. Meanwhile, we're seeing the Zofia of Doctor make his way inside Aquarium. He's going to dispatch that. Alright, looking at the head there. I'm not really sure who entirely that was. I assume that was Taha on the roam coming out from the side of MRCZ, and look at that, he gets dropped down, but MI7 is here to probably pick himself back up. Yes, he does. The stim pistols in play, and 75 HP recovered onto the Vigil. Almost losing his life in that gunfight there. Taha, very ill-advised rotate. We're seeing the Buck making holes, making sure that the entryway towards the white stairs is being denied from the top. They've got the top floor control now, and reconstruction is in place as well. That double sack from the side of Shining Heroes on the top floor. They've been amazing so far with the map control that Shining Heroes have been getting. And look at this spread out defense coming out from the side of Mercenaries. They are all very invested on the south side of this map here, while there's only 2 people on site. It's only a matter of time till Shining Heroes realize that, and they'll try and make that push onto side happen. We're seeing a 4-stack coming in from the side of Shining Heroes on the top floor as well. Not entirely sure where that... Alright, there you go, the last player is there. But Taha, meanwhile, is going to drop 1 frag onto AK Maharaj. That's going to be the IQ dispatch. A lot of utility being put out of the board for the side of Shining Heroes, as the utility manager, as I like to call her sometimes. She makes sure that all of those... utility that the alright defense presents is taken out, and so will be the head of MI7 and Taha by Doctor, and a double kill from the Zofia. He's been doing the only frag work for his team so far in this round now. Seeing him making sure nobody rotates from that angle here, but look at this flank from Lexus. Could be the saving grace for Mercenaries here, as they've lost man count all of a sudden. So 3 versus 4 now. Creeping up. He does notice the Zofia, but the Zofia wins that gunfight instead. Oh, a lovely peek and a flick from the Zofia. That's a triple kill for this round. And Fatah, meanwhile, on the other end, does get another frag for himself. He does notice the Maestro's leg, but can he shoot it? No, he's going to injure his teammate instead, and that is going to be a gunfight disadvantage for his team. 10 seconds left on the board now. They've got to make sure they make this push happen. Dr. Sonar on the other end. Why? Maestro is going to be the impactful frag for his teammate. Sonar has to go for the skill here, but can he go? No, the prone comes in from the Maestro, and no time left. And Mercenary is winning out in the brink of that last minute of this round, with the Maestro making such an impactful play for his team here. It's just an amazing round for Mercenaries. They're well executed in the dying seconds of the round. Oh my god.
Absolutely shooting away the glory with that beautiful LMG of his. And quite the cheeky little pre-fire that he had with the secondary shotgun pistol. That is, of course, what denied the gridlock from swooping in to get him. Unfortunately, they were just out of time, and really, that was just a situation where there was no coming back from for Shining Heroes. Mercenaries, once again, out of a very messy gunfight situation, this time managing to come out on top, winning the second round in Kitchen, as they are going to be switching up defense, going to, I believe that is Hookah Bar? Yes, that is Hookah Lounge and Billiards, employing once again the Mozzie Mute combination, along with Fatar with the smoke this time. Taha, of course, back on the Vigil, and Noctis on the Maestro yet again. One thing to say about both of the rounds that have happened so far is the fact that a lot of the gunfighting has been quite messy from both the teams. You know, it's something that I keep saying. Of course, it's like all over the place. Shots are being fired, shots are being missed, and not really all that clean to the liking of probably both the teams here. But of course, they're going to be looking to rectify that going forward in this matchup, as we have Mozzie putting down a pest by the first floor offices. He's going to try and make sure that nobody gets a drone in there. At the very least, is cautious about getting a drone in there. As, ooh, this is a nice angle here from a Doctor. Unfortunately, he's not going to be getting anybody. Captain Kush is already slightly low on HP, probably a spawn peek potentially from somebody. I'm not entirely sure where that could have come out from. As OG Dragon's going to take down Taha. In the meanwhile, Vigil goes down yet again. Taha, unfortunately, not going to be influencing this round any further than he hasn't really influenced this round at all, and is going to be going down before he can do any piece of work, as the bedroom push is going to be happening from the side of the attackers. AC4 comes out from Mozzie, unfortunately not going to be useful to anybody. It's just a vertical line of sight that he's established, and that may be used against him in the future. Who knows? The 2-minute mark has been crossed, of course. And Shining Heroes, there's a trading diffuser in and around. Hibana's going to be opening up a line of sight. We are hearing her X-Kairos go off somewhere. Gridlock's obviously expended her utility right by this penthouse door, the one she's pushing as we speak. She knows somebody's probably by luggage, so she's going to put down more utility. But the boss is going to peek and get that kill. The Gridlock unfortunately goes on MRI7. Nice peek by him. Takes a little bit of tracks damage, but as Noctis takes on OG Dragon, Mercenaries are securing a bit of a man lead for themselves. Shots are coming out from outside of the hookah door, but to no avail, as Shining Heroes find themselves in a position where they have to make a little bit of a comeback push. Line of sight inside of VIP has been opened by the Hibana, as IQ, AK Maharaj on the first floor, is going to be looking for that blue stairs push very soon. But there is a Maestro, of course, on top of blue stairs, who's just waiting in the wings for that, for any sort of fuse to peek it. And outside of Hookah is the Zofia, who's going to take a little bit of a gunfight. As the C4 comes up from Mozzie, is he going to get the Zofia? It's not, but Noctis is going to AK Maharaj in the meanwhile. And there goes the Zofia finally, as it's all left up to Captain Kush on the Hibana. He's going to be taken out by Noctis as well. Noctis coming out with the Maestro once again with that beautiful LMG that he has in his hands. And what a pre-fire, unfortunate for Captain Kush over there. But he is going to die, and Mercenaries are going to take their second round, of course. That was round 3 in this matchup.
Despite losing the man count early for the side of Mercenaries, they did manage to get their fragger outside the site that was Vigil, that he was playing, and he'll be playing this time around as well. But they made sure that they maintained that man count until the end of the whole match. It was a 4 versus 5 that we saw them play, and then that turned into a 4 versus 1 in the end, with only Captain Kush left. There's nothing much that the Hibana could do from VIP, and we're seeing 6-pick coming out from both these teams, and Lion and Pulse are going to be brought into the table. Lion has been that one operator that looks like OG Dragon likes to prefer a lot when things are going south for his team, as that does hinder the defense team a little bit here and there. You know, it's just not entirely... You don't have much freedom to walk around when you have the line being employed on the side of the attack. Those AE1Ds, as Gadget is called, is make sure that you get spotted out. And I still remember those days where Lion was just an overpowered operator and just way too influential. It was just Lion charge and shift W. That is exactly what we saw those teams make, and a very well placed my charge coming from Lexus here, as he's going to be stationed onto the Sauna door here. He's going to make sure he makes his presence felt on Sunrise. A very interesting line of sight being open for Smoke to make sure nobody from the Sauna window can walk in right into the doorway of the Sunrise entrance. We're seeing the attacking team make a rather slow push. Dragon almost spotting that. There's oh, look at that. MI7 is going to get a wall bang. AK is going to get dispatched, and what a lovely wall bang coming on from the side of the Pulse here. He obviously has the cardiac sensor to his advantage. He's going to spot out who's where, and he's going to get those frags just as we speak about it, and a very easy rotate for him as well. No harm done on the side of the attacking team here. They're dispatching the Lion drone already, and the push comes in from them. Tries to go for that drop shot but doesn't land it. MI7 on a double duty with the smoke is going to do a lot of damage to the team of Shining Heroes. Everybody is dropped here except for Captain Kush, as he's the last living member, and it won't matter as MI7 show on the side of Mercenaries with a flawless round as it ends all outside of offices and the aquarium balcony. Oh, look at that shot from the Pulse here. What a play from MI7. It's almost as if MI7 is retired from MI6 and he's just playing Rainbow Six now. It's I think that is why he's got that upgrade.
I see what you mean.
Just amazing gunplay from that man.
Absolutely. Very, very well done. Especially using his cardiac sensor to the best use that he possibly could. Getting those kills and the smoke there to support him. Just absolute damage being dealt. Like, that's a lot of damage. On that on that office's door. References, I got.
I mean, I just think apart from casting these matches and the knowledge we have on Siege, I'm pretty sure we both have very good knowledge on memes as well, and that is what is keeping us up in this game here. Anyways, we'll be seeing Noctis. He's just AFK for the while. He's just making sure his team's composure is being maintained. Probably having a conversation with his team on what to do and what not to do, while we are seeing a good setup from the side of the smoke. Once again, he'll be making those peak holes and lines of sight for his teammates, and looks like OG Dragon will be sticking to the bug this time around, as he doesn't want to employ the Lion for his teammates. Last time around we saw him bring the Lion, but that not do much. Not at least like probably they expected it to. And the Mira being put to play here as well, and the side is going to be Kitchen, while we're seeing a really good roam strategy coming out from the side of Mercenaries, as looks like they'll be holding the 90 hallway as well, with that reinforcement coming on from the side of Mira there. Taha once again being the also aggressive fragger for his team, and OG Dragon on the other end is going to get dropped. That'll be MI7 again with the impactful plays for his team, and look at that, Taha does spot at the Hibana. It's only a matter of time until he chooses to go for this run out, or even for a possible well,
never mind. I guess we know why he never took that shot. We were out here thinking, okay, he's just waiting for his time. He's just being conniving. Hiding his times in there. Nope, he's just gone.
He is out of this game now.
Yep.
As the game just decides to kick him off, as there's probably some issues on his end. There you go. He's back. He's back. He'll be the man on the cams for his team, as he's not going to be gunning anybody down, at least not for this round. Fatar on the other end, he's going to be on cam so far, and a lot of utility, rather information being traded off and relayed back to his teammates here, as it's a 4-to-4 man count ratio that we're getting to see. And what a shot from MI7. There's a second one for him this round. He's going to be the single man on this mission, and he's going to get the triple kill for himself as well. That is going to be the show from MI7 once again. 3 kills on the board, and Lexus is going to drop another. It's all down to Doctor, the last man on the side of Shining Heroes, as things are falling apart so quickly for the team. He's going to find 1 kill, but for how long is he going to stay alive, as MI7 is going to get the quad kill for his teammates once again. MI7 show for the side of Mercenaries, and Shining Heroes are just shut down, not being able to frag against these guns that are being brought to the table by Mercenaries at this point here. Just amazing play coming from the team here, the Bangladeshi Titans, as so many fans like to call them. I'm pretty sure it must be a sigh of relief, as we saw Shining Heroes take that advantage early into the first round rather, into that rush plan that they got done in Sunrise. But now that Mercenaries is finally back to their game, they're like, alright guys, we are in Division 3 already. Let's not make this even more worse and get relegated to the second bracket of qualifiers. Let's just make sure we make our way into this league, and that is exactly what the kind of play you would love to see. Let's take a quick look at the scoreboard here. MI7 on 9 kills, Noctis on 7. Meanwhile, the score doesn't really look that great on the side of Shining Heroes, as things are falling apart for them so quickly.
And Mercenaries just after losing that first round, they probably just went back. Had a little chat mid-round, like between rounds, and were like, you know what? Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be Mr. Nice Guy this time around. Let's show them what you were here for, and just complete domination for 4 rounds straight after that. As in round 6, we are of course going to be going back to the hookah billiards defense, and brilliant setup, standard but brilliant setup being brought out from the side of Mercenaries. Now, before we talk about the game, can I just bring up Smoke's outfit? It's that Rainbow is Magic outfit from last year. Oh,
MI7, he's just not stopping, man.
Oh my god. He just will not give up as he's going to go for the spawn peak on pool, but nobody's going to be running on top of the pool right there. They're going to be going for that little alleyway behind it. And unfortunately, MI7 are not going to get any early kills just yet, but Shining Heroes are going to be very careful of that Jaeger because MI7 has just not stopped ever since he started a couple rounds ago. And Shining Heroes have just been found lacking in front of the barrel of his gun. And it's going to be interesting to see whether or not this time...
Can I just interrupt you for a second and spot this?
Yes.
One little thing out is that we haven't seen Shining Heroes bring out their very influential member today, and that is Yondu.
Oh, right.
Yondu is not playing today, and AK Maharaj is going to be the one subbing in for him, as Yondu has been that really good factor that Shining Heroes had in the previous matches of theirs. He's been shown to make amazing clutch plays, and that is exactly what we saw him do previously as well. The 1v3 on Clubhouse, the 1v2 on Coastline yesterday, if I'm not wrong. That was the map, and he was just amazing with his clutch plays, and looks like Yondu is what is lacking for the side of Shining Heroes. Will finally be making their way up, getting the top floor control done, and standard breachings being made as well. Hibana is going to establish a control over VIP. There's a 3-stack. Look at that, the drone work from the side of Shining Heroes. Not really sure entirely what kind of a choke point they want to establish here, but look at that 3-man dedicated rush from the side of MRCZ. MI7 is just going to fall back as he's making sure he's taking all those angles. He's still got the pulse. There's C4 holes made up here to his advantage, and look at that headshot coming in from him onto Captain Kush from below. It's a lovely gunplay and a presence of mind here, and environmental presence all in all that we're seeing MI7 use it, and a very cheeky peek hole being used from the side of the mute. That is going to be Lexus holding down all these angles onto Aquarium. He's going to do a lot of damage. That'll be the Zofia taking a lot of shots there. MI7 once again.
MI7 once again.
He is going to be on his double killing spree, and that's the third round that he's been just going guns blazing against Shining Heroes, and he's landing all his shots here. Fatar is going to be the one to get OG Dragon, but the push has coming already onto the pink bar, and the smoke is going to get dispatched. The IQ is not going to matter as Mercenaries are going to win on round 6, as well as Noctis is here to pick up the final kill on that IQ, and that'll be AK Maharaj being dispatched. What a round coming from Mercenaries, and is that the match point that they've reached now?
No, actually.
They've gone
sitting 1 round from
right.
match point. 5-1 in the favor of Mercenaries as the roll swap happens, and sitting very, very pretty with an absolute show of complete domination coming from Mercenaries. Like I said, that first round, they just like, okay, we let them have this one. Now let's just completely walk over this bridge here, shall we? And well, as we see the Twitch be brought out by Noctis, actually, maybe 6-pick potential, maybe not. Oh, actually, never mind. He's going to 6-pick out into IQ there. As we are going to be going into round 7, the Buck, of course, brought out by Lexus for a lot of utility. I believe they have a sledge as well, which is going to aid the Buck in his vertical gameplay. Actually, never mind. Sledge might be relegated more to wall destruction because the defense is on the 2nd floor. Hookah Billiards, yet again, quite a favorite site as of now. Coastline presently. I remember the days when Penthouse was considered a great site. And again, it just shows you how much the meta has shifted ever since this map was introduced, right?
Right.
People actually are able to defend both the blue bar, sunrise bar site. People look to Hookah and say, yeah, this is actually a better site now. And overall, it's just very refreshing to see the meta change all the time. That is, of course, what Ubisoft wants to do when they make new operators, when they have these balancing patches, and it keeps the game fresh. It stops it from getting too stale for too long. And that's why we're seeing Rainbow Six Esports be such a great inclusion into the esports community as we come back into this game between Shining Heroes and Mercenaries on Villa. An upside down rappel on the hookah window from the Buck. He's just going to be breaking that window, making sure that he gets a line of sight in and around hookah, especially that coucher, as he's going to go back up to the roof now. And they do have the Hibana to open up lines aside. That is Fatar. As AK Mars is going to take down MI7. Unfortunately, MI7 going down very early in the round. This time around, that is the sledge of the board. A decent, very decent operator is gone, as there's another one outside of office and probably knows that AK Maharaj. He's going to get some pre-fires off, but no damage being done to either operator. That is, of course, the IQ. So it's a German fight out there. LMG versus AR. Who's going to win? Of course, that's just up to what's going to happen next, but he's going to retreat AK Maharaj all the way into Blue Bar. Of course, they know that he's in Blue Bar because there's a Buck out there too, outside of the Blue Bar window. And Mozzie, by the Sunrise window, actually has a chance to make a play onto Buck, and he's going to do just that. OG Dragon's going to take down Lexus. In the meanwhile, MRCC find themselves in a bit of a bad spot as the Ash and IQ are going to push through offices again. It needs to be a first floor heavy push from Mercenaries, but in this sort of situation, it might not be the best advised push for them. They are, of course, outside offices. They're going to go for the rappel up to Aquarium's balcony, that is. The upside down rappel from the Hibana as well is going to be giving them cover as they push in slowly but steadily close to sight, as they have to take out the default cam, of course. A little bit of intel is going to be traded off into the defender's ears, but Noctis here with the diffuser, and of course this brilliant LMG actually doing a vertical grip on it. He's going to just dip in and out of sight as one of the canisters from smoke goes out. He's going to go for the plant. Maybe this could be a bait. Yes, a smoke goes out from the smoke, of course, the canister being used, but Doctor in the middle is going to take down Taha. That is the pulse coming from the first floor, and it's a 2v5 all up to Noctis and Fatar to try and bring this back for their team. And Noctis is very, very deep inside the site. Is he going to be taken out? He's taking a lot of gunfights, and he's going to down the Maestro, but will be taken out by the well, he's actually gone by the Jaeger, but Fatar in the middle is going to take down Stoneheart. He has to pick up the cruiser, but there's still the Maestro who's going to be taken out regardless. Fatar with a double kill, but there is a C4 right underneath him. And unfortunately, OG Dragon getting that kill will ensure that Shining Heroes stay alive in this match as they take their first defending round right here on Coastline.
That was really necessary for the side of Shining Heroes to step up their game finally. Make sure that they don't let Mercenaries proceed to match point, because just like I always say, it is oh so difficult to make that comeback happen once your opponents have reached the match point. And since you are lacking from 3 rounds behind now, it is still going to be a matter of concern for you. At least 2 consecutive rounds is going to give a breather for the side of Shining Heroes. They're going to have a little liberty to work with operators, try and shift things up for themselves. But at this point, they've got to make sure every single round is being converted. AK Maharaj, proving me wrong. He got a really good early frag onto MI7 there, making sure he's shutting down that one player who's making some amazing plays from the side of Mercenaries. We'll be seeing 7, Taha, Fatar, Lexus, Noctis, MI7. They'll be running the Jackal, Ash, Nomad. Oh, look at that. Lexus is going to get disconnected for some reason or the other.
Dear.
Hopefully he does come back. Meanwhile, AK Maharaj, Doctor, OG Dragon, Dr. Stoneheart, and Captain Kush are going to be on the defense with the Goyo, the Doc, the Smoke, the Vigil, and the Jaeger. So quite the operator lineup that we're getting to see from both these teams here. It's only getting exciting, as could we see a possible comeback like we saw in the last match from Raven Esports?
Well, there most certainly is potential for Shining Heroes to make this comeback happen. They have, of course, have shown the fact that they can make take several rounds in their favor, of course. But it's going to be up to how MRCC reacts to them making or attempting to make this comeback, for that matter. As, of course, MRCC droning it all around, in and around the first floor, making sure that they aren't taken out by any roamers, and upside down repels being employed as well. They just want to make sure that they have what it takes, especially with the fact that they are at a man disadvantage due to the unfortunate disconnect happening in the prep phase. And we already have the Zofia inside of Blue Bar. She knows that there's Vigil right at Sunrise. Some shots are being taken, and the Vigil's going to go down. Doctor's out. That is the first kill for Taha this round, and a very good frag onto the Vigil. Doctor taken off the board, and shots are coming out from the main reception area, actually. But not enough damage. Not a lot of, actually, not any significant amount of damage being done to Fatah. He's just going to go down to a little bit of HP, and he's going to take down Captain Push in the meanwhile. That is the Doc gone, and that is another very, very important operator of the board for Shining Heroes. As Noctis is going to take down OG Dragon, and Mercenariez looks like they're not going to be stopping. The push into side is about to happen. Zophia's already stunned the living daylights out of smoke here. As Dr. Sonar, he's the one in main lobby. He's going to have to try and find any attackers in and around the area as the push into sight is beginning, but AK Mars is going to take down MI7, and the canister goes out. He's going to make sure that nobody's able to push him in these next few seconds, and Dr. Stoneheart is going to be peeking the hallway. He's trying to make sure, trying to find an attacker head to pop off on. Another canister goes off from the AK Maharaj on the smoke here inside of kitchen as tons of flashbangs are being thrown his way. He needs to be careful of this push happening from the kitchen door. A great angle being employed by Dr. Stoneheart as well on that TCSG. As the jump in from the kitchen window happens and the smoke has been taken off the board, Fatah is going to go for the plant, and now it's up to Dr. Stoneheart in a 1v3 situation. He's going to down the Zofia in courtyard. He's going to have to go for their kill, make sure she can't withstand, and it's a 1v2 now. Noctis is unfairly low HP. Lexus, well, fortunately, has managed to return, as now it is a post-plant situation for Stoneheart. He's going to have to try and see whether or not he can clutch this out for his team and keep their dreams alive in these qualifiers right here. Pushing it aside, pulls out a C4, but nobody's in there for him to contest with. Of course, outside of the kitchen window, he makes a wide peek as the operator there's on the drone. There's, of course, vertical play being employed as well. Noctis, oh, there we go, trying to jump out the kitchen window. Noctis is going to get that kill onto Dr. Stoneheart. And with that, MRCZ are going to go into match point here on Coastline.
Despite the early disconnection coming out from Lexus over there, if I'm not wrong. Was that Lexus? Yeah, that was Lexus. They still managed to make sure that they equalize on that man count early on, getting that Vigil and the Sunrise bar with perfectly established crossfires. We saw the Zofia take out the Vigil there by making her way inside Blue Bar, and that was just well played by Taha. We've seen him frag out for his team, and that is going to put them on match point, just like he said. This is just all in all more pressure for Shining Heroes as they try to stay alive in this phase 3 of the qualifiers, because their teams that lose in this round are going to get relegated to one last chance that is going to be even tougher to make sure that you come out on the top of that second phase of the qualifiers of the Division 3 to make sure you secure your spot in the Division 3 as well. So every team that is losing is going to be fighting another single elims with all the loser teams of the today's matches that we are getting to see and that are happening offline as we speak. Meanwhile, Mercenariez is making sure that they secure that spot in the Division 3 for themselves, as Shining Heroes are trying their best to make sure that they give a good fight to Mercenariez, trying to adapt their best at this moment. It's just not working out for them. Dr. Stoneheart, the man of culture, will be using the TCSG along with the Goyo. Perfectly placed Goyo shield coming out from the side of this man here. There you go. He's just taking his time here.
You okay there, Dr. Stoneheart? I don't think he is, but he's finally got that Goyo shield down right by the penthouse door.
There's nobody inside.
Oh, wow, the lone smoke in there. Hey, he's gonna need some. He's gonna need some YouTube videos to keep himself company. And everybody's off site. That is quite the. I don't know whether to call it brave or foolish from Shining Heroes here, because if Mercenariez get wind of the fact that nobody's inside of sight, this could go very disastrously for them. Of course, I believe that is Smoke who is back. Oh, Smoke is, of course, inside the site. What am I even saying? And Jaeger's playing close by the main lobby stairs, but again, he's going to push all the way out to theater, as vertical sight lines have, of course, been established in and around certain vital areas. Ooh, that's a peek coming out from Captain Kush on the main lobby door here. And again, he tried to employ that angle on Sunrise, but this time, in the last round, but this time Fatah knows the fact that it's going to be coming from there, and he's waiting for him to peek. And this is a little game of cat and mouse we're seeing between Habana and Doc, which is going to be, it's still going on, of course. Habana's going to climb up on the Sunrise desk to try and get an angle as Noctis is already right outside of sight. Unfortunate throw of a flashbang is going to give away his position, but he's going to go for it as Doctor is going to take down Time. And meanwhile, a canister comes up from smoke to delay the Ash's push. She's been redirected to go upstairs where all the defenders are. That is, of course, the plan from Shining Heroes here. They are trying to make sure all of the defenders, all of the attackers have to go from the second floor instead of the first floor. And Mercenariez, they know for a fact that nobody's inside of sight. And if they manage to take this, it will be a hard retake for Shining Heroes to have to attempt here. It's, of course, Noctis still here. On the Ashes, Doctor's going to take down the MI7 in the meanwhile. Unfortunately, MRCZ in a bad position, but the smoke goes down inside of sight. And Ash, right now, for this very moment, has control inside of sight as Diffuser is also in there. Batar's going to go for the plant, but the Doc actually is going to go for the rotate, and Hibana's going to hear him and will be taken out. Doc, that is Noctis giving excellent cover as the plant is now going down from Fatar, and lots of bodies are being dropped in the meanwhile, of course, things I couldn't catch up on, as Noctis is going to take down Doctor as well, and once again, Dr. Stoneheart is also not going to be enough to stop Mercenaries from just running away with it. Like I said, the emptied site strat not working out in the favor of Shining Heroes, unfortunately. MRCZ bringing the absolute A game as we get to see the brilliant elite animation here for the Lara Croft Ash. That is, of course, a third elite skin if we're counting elites here.
I'll love
MRCZ. You do love to see that as MRCZ win this match here on Coastline 7-2 in their favor.
That was quite the match coming out from the side of Mercenaries there. 7-2 with 14 frags on their highest fragger, and the second highest number of frags will be 11. It's just a good frag game coming out from their fraggers there. And that'll be it, guys, from me and Blackjack, as we'll be resuming back with another stream in just a while, and that'll be the phase 2 of these last qualifiers that we are getting to see. That is, all the losing teams of this phase 3 qualifiers are going to go in another single bracket tournament for themselves. We'll be back in just a while, guys, with more siege action, and we are only getting started, as today is going to mark the end of the qualifiers, and we are going to step into the division sections right after this, and that is just going to make things even more spicy, even more exciting. So make sure you have your ACOGs in bag, and just make sure you're here, hang around in the Esports Club Facebook and YouTube channels every day at 6 p.m. That'll be it from me and Blackjack once again. This is me, Foxtrot, signing out.